Hey folks, Travis here from Northwoods Overland, back to you with a quick video today. As part of our installation of our front bumper for the 4Runner, we're going to show you how to wire the LED light bar to your Switch-Pros SP9100. So the existing LED light bar came with all of these wires and cables connected to it to connect to a couple of relays and power and all that stuff, but because we actually have the Switch-Pro system, we don't need much if any of this, and the only thing that we're actually going to be connecting from is the control wire that actually connects back to the LED light bar. So without further ado, we'll jump in and we'll show you stripping this down and getting it prepped to actually connect into a couple of the eye hooks to make it easy to switch into the Switch-Pros. So as I mentioned, this is the wiring harness that actually came with the Extreme LED's 30-inch combo light bar. It's the X6S, but from the whole assembly, the only thing we actually need is this control cable here that connects right into the LED itself. And then we just need to trace this back to the relay as close as possible. And we're gonna cut it right here to give ourselves as much of the wire to play with, and then we can handle the excess inside the car. So let's go through here and we'll actually just cut all this off and get ourselves started. All right, and then once you have that, you can go and you can toss that off to the side. So now once we have this here, we need to strip back a little bit of the exterior housing so that we can expose the wires inside, and then we can strip these back, actually connect them to some of our Blue Sea wire connectors. We want to give ourselves enough room to play with here because we're going to be actually having to wrap the ground out of this package and over to the ground bus bar by itself. So we think maybe 6 or 8 inches at the end of this is enough to play with, and it's probably good. So now you might get a little confused here. We have one black cable which is connect to the ground, and then we actually have a red and a white. These are each of the powers for the amber and the clear light bar. So you have the option actually to wire these up to 2 separate switches on your Switch-Pro if you want, or you can combine them and wire them to one. The overall amperage draw for this is under 17, which is the max for one of our actual switches on the Switch-Pro. So we're going to actually wire these together into one eye hook and control them from one light, because we probably won't have just the ambers on or just the whites on. But the best part is if you leave yourself enough flex here, you can actually go through and rewire this if you change your mind afterwards. Cool, so we got them all stripped now, and we'll just need to connect them to one of our marine grade connectors, crimp it down, and we should be all set. Cool, so we're going to take the red and the white like we mentioned. We're going to actually twist these together so that way we can get it inside of one of these. But we want to make sure that we still remember some of our fancy shrink wraps so we can make everything look nice and OEM when we're done. Good. Then we can just use the regular single for this. Alright, we're going to hit it with the heat gun again, make everything look nice and tight, and then bring the shrink wrap over it and hit that as well, and then we're all set to go into the rig and actually wire this around. Okay, we're all set. Let's go and route this into the rig and wire it up. Okay, so with the wiring connection there, you can see the little whip coming off of the LED bar. It's down in the little crack right there, but we'll pull it out. That is where we'll connect the male end to the female end that's inside of the wiring harness, and then we'll route it up along the wall here, and connect up into our Switch-Pros. Alright, and then pull all the extra wire down into the bay, right over by your winch, just because you're going to have a little bit more room and play around there than you will up here. And we can store the extra spools of wire down there. So, from a general fit standpoint, we're pretty good right about there to get into all of the switches. We can get into the negative for the bus bar, and then we can put that there. So, fit looks good. We're going to bundle up some of the wires down inside the engine bay just so that we take care of the extra. Wire those together and then we'll test it out.